We're so glad to see all of you. Welcome back after the summer break to Nordic Coffee Chats with Leslie and Kathy. We decided that we wanted to keep the momentum. We've come back refreshed, recharged after summer, being active, and we thought, why not do a little mini series on well-being? And today's episode will focus around physical activity and how that keeps us going, grounds us, and makes us feel good while we're transitioning or simply coming back from the summer vacation back to the grind of the everyday work, school, whatever is going on for us, job searching, networking.
Yeah. And it can feel a little bit like, and I know if you are just arriving in Denmark, you're just here with your family, you're setting up, or you're just here to start studying on your own, or it can feel like a daunting prospect. But the one thing that you can control is your well-being in a sense of having some routines, getting into maybe the sport that you love, whether that's running, swimming, badminton, whatever it is. You can start putting some structure in your life
Mhm.
by just finding out what's happening, what's going on here, what's out there. And so hopefully we're going to give you a few tips on how to meet people, how to find out about the clubs and different things that are going on here, and how to look after you. Because very easy if you are here with a partner or a spouse and they go off to work and maybe the family, the kids are off to school, and you think, right, what do I do now? How do I start looking after myself and putting some structure into my life? I think we're going to come up with a few ideas for you today, just based on what we did, but also what we know, having lived here for a very, very long time, that
Mhm.
we've been through those hard stages, we've been through the good stages, and hopefully we'll be able to help you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'll start with routines. I love routines. I love my morning routine. You have one as well. We can give you examples of what that means for us. But I think when you've just moved, and you're thinking, my goodness, everything is up in the air, everything's new, this will bring, as Leslie said, structure, but also some grounding, some balance to your life. So giving yourself grace and thinking, okay, it's not selfish for me to take care of me. I will take that half an hour, have my cup of coffee, my cup of tea, whatever you're having in the morning, matcha, and just, either doing your breath work, yoga, or reading newspaper, or just listening to music, or just sitting in silence and having your cup of tea after everyone has left. That is perfectly fine. You need to have you time. That's something you do just for yourself, not for anyone else. And if you are here alone, same thing. You need to prepare for the day, whatever is ahead of you. So you need to have the energy, fill your cup, and keep the routines if you can that you have brought from home, or the ones that you had maybe before the summer. And obviously, our summers sometimes make the routines different. So, whatever that is, start out with the easiest things, and then you can always add on. But be really gentle and kind to yourself, especially those of you who have just started this journey in Denmark.
What would your sort of daily routine be, Kathy? I mean, do you have like a Monday to Friday routine, and weekends you've got a little bit more time? But I suppose working full time, what's your sort of routine? What's your must-haves that you would have?
So my must-haves, and I've adjusted this, as you said, my life has changed recently as well a bit, so it's not necessarily everything that I do as I used to. My must-haves are I get up before everyone else because I need to have just quiet for a little bit before everyone else wakes up, and the normal, oh, where's this? Where's my laptop cover? Where's whatever it is that people are looking for. As a mom, as a wife, I usually have people coming to me asking things. So I discovered quite a long time ago that I need to have some peace in the morning just for myself. So I have a lemon water first. I do my meditation with my cat. My cat likes it when I meditate, so she comes and meditates with me. And I journal. but it's quick. The morning things are not,
Yeah.
they don't take me that long because I have quite a few things that I like to do. Then I usually go to the water because Leslie and I are both big fans of all year cold exposure. So winter dipping, for those of you that don't know the fancier word. I come back, I have a coffee, and I also stretch a little bit. That can be also before I go, just to get my body moving a little bit. I have a coffee, and then usually everyone else wakes up. So that's my morning routine. I used to work out in the mornings before. I now have a bit more of limited time, so my workouts now have moved to the afternoons when I come back home.
Oh, wow. I'm the last up. So my husband's a real early bird. He always has been, and he's full of beans first thing. He's just so it's 20 questions, and I am not a morning person. So, it works better that he's usually up first and he's so organized. He's so organized that he showered, he started on packet on lunch boxes or whatever it is, or he's so lovely. He gets my coffee ready for me. So all I have to do is press the
Oh,
button on the on
love
the
that.
that makes me a cup of tea. Meanwhile, the teenager's in the shower. We only have one bathroom, so it's a bit of a fight. And he's in the shower, and then I'm sort of getting those. And once I've got those out the door, then sort of my routine starts. So I'll have a cup of tea, shower, get ready, check emails, that type of thing. But I also meditate on a morning because for me it's really important
Mhm.
to spend time and just thinking about I have a faith. So for me, it's about, spending a time what expectations I could have for the day, how I can just be a better friend, better wife, better mother, trying to think of
Yeah.
all the different ways I can do that. And also just thinking about, right, what am I going to plan for the day? Because I'm self-employed. So I run my own
Mhm.
company. So I have to think about, right, what's the plan? What's the plan
Yeah.
today? What do I need to achieve today? What clients do I have in? Do I have a workshop, webinar? What is it? So I'm already thinking ahead. So, but I do like to take that time when the boys have gone out the door just to have just that silence. So there's no, actually don't have any radio on, I don't have any TV or anything like that.
Mm.
I just have nice quiet time.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and try not to think about, putting a wash on and that type of thing. I try and just think about, right, it's my work day now. So then I can go to my office and get going. So that's my
When do you go
start.
to the water?
So I dip on a Monday and a Friday morning.
Okay.
But in this weather, what I'm planning to do next week, because if I haven't got a workshop or a webinar, I have to have, obviously have the hair done properly. Um, I'm going to start going back to, there's some lanes just near me where I can just swim. So I'm going to start going there a bit. So I might be up at the same time as my boys just to get a few more sessions in before it's winter again. And then I'm
Yeah.
just dipping because I like to do the swimming. And I've been a bit hesitant this year because I've had this shoulder injury again. So I've had to be really careful, which has been really super frustrating because this is my sport.
Yeah.
Running slow as a horse. I mean, I'm not joking when I say that. Very slow runner. But swimming's my thing. So
Hmm.
I actually should do more, to be honest, because it's a happy place.
Yeah.
Like you, I love the water. It's where I'm most creative. It's where I'm at peace. And
Completely.
for my well-being, just being near water makes a huge difference to my whole day. So not necessarily if I've been dipping or swimming, just being near water really helps my health that way.
Totally. And for those of you that may say, ah, but I'm not close to water, what do I do? So here's a fun fact. I hope I remember it correctly. I think anywhere you are in Denmark, you're not further away from the coast than 42 kilometers. So
Wow.
even if you can't do it on a daily basis, if water is your happy place, it brings you soothing, calmness, joy, creativity, try to go at least, whenever you can. It is doable. We totally understand that not everyone may be very close. But if you are in Copenhagen or, even on the outskirts, it is very doable. You're usually quite close to the coast to get a little bit of that exposure. Um,
There's also a lot of lakes as well, I find here
Lots
as
of
well.
lakes.
That are
Yeah.
swimmable. You can actually swim in them. The water's clean. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So water plentiful. Definitely, you can find a source.
Yeah,
What we also thought about when we were thinking about this episode is, that those of you who have moved, you probably had some routines. Those of you who are physically active on a regular basis, and you're thinking, well, what do I do now? I don't have my gym buddy. I don't have my running buddy. How is that going to work for me? How do I continue? And the thing I thought about is take it slow, take it easy, see what will work for you here. It will not be the same as it was wherever you're coming from. That's a fact. It's sometimes sad, but it's never going to be exactly the same. Um, I like to run, and what I think is nice is just have a walk around your neighborhood, see what's out there,
yeah,
see where are some places maybe that would be nice for you to run. Um, you also thought about that it's always good to reach out, right? To ask
yeah.
people.
Yeah. And social media is perfect for this. So,
Hmm.
say I've just moved to this area, this region, don't have a car because generally it's not that as common as living in other countries. No, how do I get to meet people? How do I get to find out more about my sport? Just ask in a Facebook group or a social media,
Hmm.
even ask on LinkedIn. I think it's a professional platform, but to be honest, say just moved. Career is going to take a little while to get sorted out, if that might be the case, or I've just started studying at one of the universities. But what I really need is help with this, and you'll be surprised how many people have some
Hmm.
great ideas of what's available, what's affordable, that you can join a very expensive club, or you can just join a running club where you just meet outside some of the sports shops. We have a local one here, or there's Sparta as well, where you can just meet in some of the parks and just give it a trial and a bit of a run round and find your people,
Yeah,
find your pacer as well. Kathy's a quick runner, but I'm really not, and I'm not exaggerating.
I'm
So you got
working
to
on
find
it.
people. So you've got to find people who work at your pace as well. So you're
Yeah.
trying to find somebody if running is your thing, as an example. Yeah,
And it's so doable, right? Because we see Danes and people who live in Denmark. I
yeah,
think everyone's quite active, and you see people walking, you see people cycling,
yeah,
you see people running, jogging, whatever that may be. There are also outside gyms, which again, the season is slowly
yeah,
ending, but that's also something that's available. So there's really room for everybody, and it is really a welcoming place in that sense that people like to have new members, or even in the Facebook communities, there are also these ad hoc, going, oh, is anyone interested in having a run on this day? So it shouldn't be a problem to find that. But just make sure that you feel comfortable, that you kind of get to know your area, you find out, oh, I would like to go there or try this. So have a first like a kind of go see, right? Get
yeah,
familiar with things, because that also makes it easier to start again, to incorporate that into your life that may seem a little bit chaotic if you have just moved.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, definitely. Been here a while and still trying to find your place because it's not everyone who's an extrovert who can just
mhm.
go and join a club or go and have a coffee meeting and join some maybe parents at school or something like that. Not everyone's that confident about going out there
Yeah,
and meeting other people. So sometimes it can be a case of you might have been here a while. I would just really encourage you, try and find a group where just meet one person, go to a job webinar or speak, join the parent committee or something like that, where you can actually just get to make maybe one or two people, and you'll find within that you'll have something in common with somebody, whether it's a sport, physical, so you can do that, dog walking group, they're
hmm,
everywhere in Denmark. Just think about what you like to do, and maybe think about what's in your network already, what's in your little community, in your sphere,
yeah,
and try and find people, like-minded people that way.
definitely. And I think activities, physical or non-physical, as you've just mentioned, hobbies of
Mm.
any kind, are
Yeah,
so important when we face changes, when we move, when we transition, because that's kind of a steady thing that we have, right? That's what's going to make us feel more joyful,
yeah,
feeling well, more energy. Also with feeling familiar, right? If we're doing something that we know, that we enjoy, that brings more comfort to us, especially while transitioning, or even if we have been here for a while, right? But it's still important to have those types of activities that make us feel good.
I mean, I've been here, what, 18 years, but I think I've only been swimming and dipping for the past six.
Yeah,
And that's because a friend of mine was training for an Ironman. She's quite incredible. And she didn't really know how to swim crawl. And I said, oh, because I used to swim as a competitively when I was a kid. And I said, well, I'll teach you that. So that's how I got into the water. And I thought, this is amazing. You can swim outside in
yeah,
Denmark. And it's all sorted for you. There's swimming areas, there's lanes if you want to do swimming for lanes. There's act so that's how mine started. And then it's gone on from there. And this has
wow,
been my first year when I've dipped all year. So this has been I've done winter bathing all year. So that's something I'll carry on with. But I'd always chickened out when it got to about October. Thought, oh, no, no, it's too cold for me now. I'll wait until it warms up a bit. But I've met some incredible people by doing that.
yeah,
But I met them through something else. My first dipping experience was with a lovely friend of mine who took my photograph. She was doing a project, 50 Women Over 50. And then I found out she was a dipper. And I was like, oh gosh, I've never tried that. Well, come and join me. And so that's how I got to be
yeah.
friends with Daniela that way because we were dipping. And I thought, oh, such a good idea. I've never tried it. And there you
This will be
go.
your second year.
My second year now. Yeah, it's my second
Yeah.
year now. Yeah. But I've been here a while before I tried that. So I'd encourage if you're really even thinking about it, start now when warmer. It says 20 degrees at the moment. It does not feel like 20, I can
It
tell
doesn't
you.
feel like it. No.
It does.
But I think it's important also to, there's a lot with the whole culture of winter dipping. There are books out there, there are podcasts. If
Yeah.
you're interested, I would definitely encourage you research a little bit. There are definitely some heavy don'ts, so don't do it alone. Always have a buddy or join a club. Some of the clubs have waiting lists, if especially if they're very well organized and have saunas.
Yeah.
If that's something you want to do, sign up. It may take some time. Sometimes it goes much faster than expected. But just sign yourself up, or if not, go to an area where you see other people doing it, so you're not alone. Um, and get to know the place that you will be winter dipping in, because it's also important to stay safe. I mean, it's water. We are in an area that's pretty safe. We don't have huge waves, but always, safety first. And the thing that's always important, especially if you have any health issues or anything like that, please get checked
Yeah.
out by your doctor, because it's just the smart thing to do, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But the benefits are incredible. So I've been winter dipping the year before Corona, I started.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you've been doing it a while then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will honestly tell you that since I started it, the illnesses have just basically vanished. I don't really get sick. I used to have colds a lot. I don't have colds.
Wow. Yeah.
So the immune system is definitely much stronger. Um, you also feel an energy boost, right,
Oh,
Leslie?
you really do. I can't describe it. You just feel amazing.
Yeah,
You really do feel amazing. It's such a high, isn't it? Those
it
endorphins. It's
is.
such a high. Yeah.
It's a huge high. It's also, like I've noticed it in other people I've talked to as well. So blood circulation also changes. If you are someone who's been feeling really cold, cold feet, cold hands, that will change. And
Yeah.
my whole perception of cold is very different. Um, I don't really feel as cold as I used to. And I think that has a lot to do with it because our body is
Yeah.
exposed. It gets that shock, right?
Yeah.
So there are huge benefits. Metabolism. As I said, we're not experts in this field. We are practicing cold water exposure fans. But if you're interested, you can read up on it, and we can link some things. So I'll
Yeah,
make a
we will.
note.
Yeah.
of cold water exposure. It is something that's become a huge thing in Denmark, and not only Denmark, right? We also see it exploding. Britain, Poland, different
Yeah,
places. There are more and more people who are choosing this activity as part of their routines as well.
yeah, it's a good one.
Hmm.
Have a go, even if you. And I've just found this summer is chatting to people in the water who I can hear their English or something. I'll always say, "Oh, hi, how are you? How long have you been here?" Lots of people on holiday giving it a go because I've heard about it.
Yeah,
So they're giving it a go and having a dip and having a swim and saying, "Oh gosh, we've been doing it every day. We love it."
yeah.
Yeah. So
It's amazing. I think it's so beautiful. I mean, I also try to always find places, especially when we travel out of season, to dip in different parts of the world. So, obviously Scandinavia is amazing for it because it is so cold.
yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, just I think more people than not really get hooked on it when they try it.
Maybe it's a one go and they're like, no, never again. But I'm not naturally a cold person. I'm always warm. I'm
Uh-huh.
freakishly warm. So for me, but even for me, I felt, oh gosh, this is freezing to start with. But you genuinely just get used to it.
You do.
Yeah,
You really
I love
do.
it.
Yeah. The other thing, I mean, with swimming, right? We like swimming in open water, but the pools in Denmark are amazing. There are many of them. Usually you can find a local pool somewhere by you. Prices are also, I would say, very reasonable. You can buy cards where there's a bit of a discount if you buy a
Yeah,
card. Um, so highly encourage also using those types of facilities. In general, all the sports centers, right? They are really
yeah,
used by locals and internationals. So whatever floats your boat, sort of say, whether
yeah,
it's swimming or football or badminton or sailing, right? We were kind of
yeah.
brainstorming before of all the different sports. Cycling, that's huge also
Huge
here.
here. And also, I'm thinking kayaking as well, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
You can actually kayak for free in the center of Copenhagen. And I think it's not just in this city here, but around Denmark, where if you collect rubbish from the water, you can actually
Yes.
kayak for free. But you're also helping to keep the water nice and
Beautiful.
tidy because things blowing from the sea and whatever. And people, there's the odd person who's just dropping rubbish into the water. Actually, can kayak for free. But you just have a little bucket and
Amazing.
you collect stuff as you go around. So you can do that. So there's
Yeah.
loads of different places to do it. Lots of opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of water sports, rowing as well, right? I
Yeah.
mean, so many different clubs. Google it, go on Facebook, go on LinkedIn, like Lindsay said, and just try to find your place.
Yeah.
Climbing facilities for those that enjoy rock climbing. There really is a lot
Yeah.
that you can choose from. But I think the key, just when I think about it, is please stay active. Do something for
Yeah.
your mind and body. No one will do it for you. And not trying to scare all of you, but summer is ending, fall is coming. So putting these routines into action now will help you in those months that are a little bit tougher to get through. It's dark. And that's where we really need that energy from
Yeah.
taking care of ourselves. But as with winter dipping, if you start now, it'll be much easier to keep the momentum and to keep going.
Absolutely. And it does get darker here, let's face it. And it's darker for longer and even I'm from the UK and it's not as
Mm,
dark as it is here. So you do need to have things in place that help you and keep that well-being. And we can only absorb what vitamin D we can't between October and March. So
no,
you need to have those little supplements going over the winter period as well. But before we get to the winter time, just enjoy the sunshine,
yeah.
enjoy the light days.
Get outside.
It's freakishly warm. It's lovely. We
Yeah.
can't always say that every year about Denmark. So, while the sun's shining, get to the beach, go and enjoy some. Do you know what? You'll sit on a beach, and if you want somebody to look after your bag or look after somebody else's, you can get talking to people that way. Just say, oh,
Mhm.
if you want to swim, I'll look after yours because it's so safe here. But I did actually see a little chat going on in Facebook about that, and I thought I wouldn't even think. about it. I would just ask the person, a family beside me, could you look after my bag? Because I've done it so many times for other people. Get in the water, just start chatting to people.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, just be mindful to really keep your routines. If you want to add new ones, do it very slowly. It usually works best if you add on to what you already have. So when I do workshops on well-being, I always say, if you're having a cup of coffee every morning or whatever you're drinking, and you want to add on to your well-being routine, but you don't want it to be too demanding, you can do meditation, right? As you're drinking your coffee. You're already doing that. So adding on to that habit will be much easier than introducing something completely new. You can also do a little bit of breath work, but just being mindful of what will help you have more energy, feel better, feel good. Yeah.
YouTube is great because if you're thinking, well, what's Kathy talking about breath work? Quick Google, go on YouTube. There'll be something that says talks about breathing techniques.
Yeah.
And I know
So many
lately I've
different videos.
so many different ways just to really help you stay calm. If you're nervous about anything. And I've found even in this last year meeting so many new people who are doing breath work, and I'm finding out a lot more about why it's really helpful. Especially
Yes.
I suffer a little bit from anxiety, so it's been really helpful for me. And at my age, for those of you who are maybe pre-menopausal or menopausal, you can get anxiety out of nowhere.
Hmm.
It seems to be one of the symptoms of some of us,
Yeah.
and it can literally come out of nowhere. And people would never look at me and think, "Well, why do you worry about anything?" And I've found that breathing has
Hmm.
really helped.
It's amazing. And it's
Yeah,
so easy because you can do, of course, it depends on what kind of breath work. If you're doing like dragon breath, maybe not, but very basic breath work that
yeah,
will calm you down. You can do this on the train. You can
yeah,
do it on, a bench. No one even has to know that you're doing it. So even in a public place, you can definitely bring
yeah,
yourself the level of stress or anxiety down without making it very obvious if you're worried about that. So you don't need to
yeah.
worry in that sense. We all breathe. So no one's going to think it's a strange thing. What I use actually, there are different apps as well, right? I use Insight Timer for meditation. So I can also link that. There's also Calm, right?
Yeah.
There are various different kinds of apps. I like Insight Timer. That's what I use. I usually do a guided meditation in the morning or breath work from
Okay.
that app, or also just music sometimes, where
Yeah,
meditative music, right? There are different kinds of things
yeah,
just to kind of put us at ease.
yeah, yeah. So Kathy, what else would you add, do you think, that's going to help people to really, really find out how they can help their sort of physical activity levels, they can help their well-being, that really help them if they've been here a while or even just been for here for a short time, because you do a lot on well-being, and you teach on it. So
Yeah.
could you give us like a top three thing that you would say would you would maybe talk about or that you could give us helpful advice?
So I would say if you have certain sports or passions or activities, don't stop, just
Yeah,
continue. As we've said, ease into it. If you feel that there is quite a lot of things you're carrying on your shoulders and you have to do a lot of things, maybe cut down on the intensity. You can always go back to what you were doing, but you need to be mindful. Is it something that is manageable for me right now? I think the most important thing is to keep active. The intensity you can adjust, but you have to be aware what's happening, what's going on, what am I dealing with? Um, because you don't want to overdo it. If you are a pro athlete, sure, but I think a lot of us are active physically in our normal sort of day to day. If that changes and the intensity of that changes, you also need to think about how that will affect mind, body, soul, everything. So always check in with yourself. Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. The other thing I think with well-being and specifically physical activity, if you are not regularly training or being active and you want to be more regular, make sure you choose something that you like.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily something that's, a new thing, or just think about what do I enjoy? Because anything that becomes a routine or a habit, if you think back or you look at your life, those are the things choosing, right? That we like. If you don't like it, you won't do it. You're going to
Yeah.
force yourself, and eventually you'll fall off the wagon. And then you'll be upset with yourself and you'll beat yourself up. And that's not what we want because that's not what we need. So, again, being mindful. If you want to try something new, maybe wait a little bit once you're settled. Do
Yeah.
the things that are easy, that bring you joy. When I mean easy, I don't mean like easy workouts all the time, but that are easy for you,
Yeah.
easily accessible, easily doable, manageable. So you don't need more stress, right? You need to do things that work, that are smooth. Um,
Yeah.
and finally, I would say, and I'm thinking, as we've said before, of the seasons changing. Start now if you're not doing it. This is my cat Luna, by the way. So we're doing a little introduction. And start now or keep the momentum going. Because, and I'm being very honest and transparent, it will get harder, especially when the weather shifts and we have more wind, more
Yeah.
rain, darker days, shorter days. So you need to do it, or you need to be doing it already now, right? Because it's going to
Yeah.
be quite difficult. Um, and I think that was also our objective with this
Yeah.
episode, to just say, summer's beautiful. We usually are more active because we're outside more, we're doing more things. So try to keep the momentum.
Yeah. Yeah. We really hope that we've given you just a few ideas today.
Hmm.
A few ideas of how you can maybe find your people, find something you enjoy, keep your physical activity going. It's so important. It doesn't matter if you're in your 20s and you're just going off to university or you're nearly 60 like me. We all need to be keep moving, keep being strong, building our strength. And if you can find a way to do that, doing something that you love, then that's perfect, isn't it? But we've said from the beginning, it's all about grace. You've just arrived, you've got a lot to deal with, whether you're just settling into university, into your halls, or whether you're helping a family settle. Just be kind to yourself. And we're going to carry on with this wellbeing series. So today was about physical, and then we're going to be talking about all different ways of how you can look after your well-being coming up. So thank you for today. Please subscribe. That really helps us over on YouTube, and sign up on Instagram. And we'll just keep talking. But drop any ideas into the comments if there's anything else you want us to include in what we talk about, anything you want us to chat about.
Completely. Thank you for being with us. And share also if you have any good tips or good
Yeah.
clubs, or places that you found that are open and willing to have new members. Please share, because that's also helpful to everybody, to the whole community. And from me here, Luna and I say thank you,
And me, thank you so
and we'll
much.
see you
And we
soon.
will we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care.